Retail sales dropped in January, and the high cost of rent is crushing people financially. Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Please also share this video with your friends. Thank you for your support. Today, I read several financial news articles. I've included links to the articles in the description below. I encourage you to read the articles to support the authors and news sources. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of these articles that are of public interest. Today, I read an article on foxbusiness.com written by Megan Henney titled, "Retail Sales Tumble Much More Than Expected in January." According to the author, retail sales, a measure of how much consumers spent on a number of everyday goods, including cars, food, and gasoline, tumbled 0.8% in January, the Commerce Department said Thursday. It marks the worst month for retail sales since March 2023. Well, my friends, I am not surprised by this one bit. Many Americans have not seen their wages keep pace with inflation, and they are struggling to survive. Some have been using credit cards and buy now, pay later loans to pay for groceries. I'll share a quote with you from the author that aligns with my thinking. The author said, and I'll quote, "More Americans are relying on their credit cards to cover necessities," end quote. Many also used credit cards and buy now, pay later loans to finance their holiday spending. I can understand this. Some parents wanted their kids to have a very special holiday. They wanted to make sure their kids got all of the gifts that they wanted. Unfortunately, they now have to figure out how to deal with that debt. This is based on everything that I have been reading in recent months. It's not just retail spending at stores that is slowing down. I spoke with a car dealer this week, and he said his dealership had the worst January in many years. He said business is so slow that they're entertaining offers on vehicles that they would not have entertained previously. Now, I'm going to share with you the most interesting section of the article that I read today. The author said a solid job market and big wage increases have helped to buoy consumer spending in recent months, despite high inflation. However, many economists have been predicting that consumers will grow more cautious as student loan payments resume and high interest rates continue to work their way through the economy. Well, my friends, not everyone has gotten big wage increases. Some companies have been very frugal and their employees have been impacted. I thought it was interesting that the author mentioned student loan payments resuming. In my opinion, we have not yet felt the full effect of this because of Biden's on-ramp program. With Biden's on-ramp program, people with student loans who aren't currently making payments can't be considered delinquent or fall into default or be reported to credit reporting agencies. Interest will still accrue, but that's it. The on-ramp program expires at the end of September. I have no doubt there are a lot of people out there who aren't going to resume making their student loan payments until penalties are imposed starting in October. I talked to someone recently who told me he is not paying his student loans during the on-ramp program period because he is still hoping that Biden will forgive his loans. He said it would be stupid to make payments and then find out months later that the loan balance was going to be forgiven in full. I see his point, but what happens if Biden does not forgive his student loan balance? The amount that he owes will have continued to grow larger due to interest. I have to wonder how many other people out there are thinking the same way as this guy. Once penalties are imposed in October of this year for people who don't make their student loan payments, I suspect we will see even more people rein in their spending. I suspect this could further impact retail spending. We are talking about a lot of people who have student loans. There are over 43 million student loan borrowers here in the United States of America. Not everyone needs to make a student loan payment. I'll give you an example. Because of Biden's SAVE plan, there are a lot of people who don't need to make a student loan payment because of their family size and income level. Their loan balance does not go away. They simply don't need to make a payment right now. If their family size or income level changes, they may need to resume making payments later. There are others who owe a reduced amount each month because of their family size and income level. Even for people who owe a reduced amount, they still have less money that they can spend into the economy at stores, restaurants, bowling alleys, car dealerships, etc. I really think we will hear a lot more about the full impact of student loan payments resuming after the presidential election, since Biden's on-ramp program does not expire until the end of September. Late fees are charged after a payment is 30 days late, but your loan is not considered delinquent until your payment is 90 days late. We may start hearing about late payments sometime in November, but we may not hear about all of the delinquencies and people being reported to credit reporting agencies until January 2025, which would be approximately 90 days from when Biden's on-ramp program expired. If people start getting reported to credit reporting agencies, this could impact their ability to access as much credit, and the cost of that credit could get more expensive. This could reduce their ability to spend money into the economy. What I have described is a real possibility, but what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, especially if you work for a student loan servicing company. I read another interesting article today, which was on Yahoo Finance, put out by Benzinga and written by Janine Mancini, titled, "Money is so tight that we will all go out as a family and do DoorDash together. Half of all renters are spending more than 30% of their income on housing." The author of this article referenced a 2024 report by Harvard's Joint Center for Housing Studies that found half of renters are now allocating more than 30% of their income towards rent and utilities. The author quoted a woman from Georgia who said she is probably paying about 2/3 of her income in rent. Another guy from Arizona said his rent is about 75% of his income. I have to wonder how in the world did he even qualify to be able to lease that property? The first thing I thought about when I read this article was the fact that these people are probably not contributing much, if any, to retirement. If such a high percentage of your income is going to rent and utilities, you probably don't have much money left over for food, medical, childcare, and vehicle expenses. There's probably nothing left over that can be put into retirement. Just do a quick search online for retirement crisis in America, and you will find plenty of articles. However bad this retirement crisis is today, imagine how bad this could be in the future if the trend of people having to spend such a high percentage of their income on rent and utilities continues. The second thought that I had after reading this article was that these people probably are not setting aside much money for emergencies or to invest in business opportunities should they present themselves in the future. It is truly tragic that so many people are stretched thin financially due to the high cost of housing. I'm going to share with you the most interesting part of this article. The author quoted a woman from Idaho who said, and I'll quote, "There are times when money is so tight that we will all go out as a family and do DoorDash together. So it's embarrassing, it's not fun, especially since I have a professional job and things like that. I have an MBA. Well, my friends, I don't consider this to be embarrassing. I think it is all how you frame it in your mind. I personally have never felt too good to do any job. I think doing this as a family could really teach your children the value of money. It might also motivate your kids to study, work hard, and be strategic in the future with that money so you don't have to do DoorDash as a second job in order to survive. Now, I don't know the age of the family members for the person referenced in this story, but I have to wonder if DoorDash has any policies that forbid minors or other people from accompanying the delivery driver. Do you know people with professional jobs who are delivering food part-time in order to make enough money to survive? If so, tell me about it in the comment section below. The cost of living is not just impacting people here in America. I read an article today on Yahoo Finance put out by Fortune and written by Ryan Hogg titled, "Gen Z Cost of Living Induced Sobriety Drive is Forcing UK Nightclubs to Shut, Owner Says." According to the author, a survey from Savanta found more than 2/3 of 18 to 34-year-olds in Europe had cut their alcohol spend in bars and restaurants in 2023. Cost of living pressures were cited as the primary reason for the pullback. Well, my friends, I found this to be very interesting. This is not good news for people who own taverns or liquor stores. Here in America, some people pay a lot of money for a liquor license. They want to see a return on their investment. I am sure some never imagined that they might have to shut their doors due to people who can no longer afford their social beverage intake. I remember when I was in college, A lot of students lived off of student loans and spent freely. Some had credit cards given to them by their parents, and they enjoyed buying food and drinks at restaurants and bars. Some of these people would not think twice about having a $75 or $100 bar tab by the end of the night, especially if they were buying drinks for friends or members of the opposite sex and tipping the bartender generously so that the bartender would continue to give good service the next time they visited the very crowded bar. Now, I observed all of this here in America. Maybe things are different in Europe. Maybe college-age people in Europe don't have access to different types of student loans like people do here. And maybe it's not as common for parents to provide their children with credit cards there. I know some people who will always find a way to get their alcohol. Not having money because of cost of living pressures would not stop them. They would always find a way to pay for it, even if that meant donating plasma or selling some of their personal property. Now, the author of this article did mention a study by the National Health Service that found more than a third of young people didn't drink alcohol in 2021. Apparently, there has been a long-term shift away from alcohol by younger people compared with their elders. Well, my friends, this is interesting. Keep in mind, this story is talking about what is happening in Europe. Still, I have to wonder how relevant this is to us here in America. I have to wonder if some young people have seen some health problems that family members have had because of alcohol, and they have decided not to pursue the intake of alcohol. I am sure there are a variety of reasons why people are shifting away from alcohol. Maybe some are more interested in other recreational substances. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.